I'm Dan.
We are two blokes and a mic.
And a mic. Not bad.
Not bad. Almost in synchrony. So, Mr. Dan, what's happening today? What are we talking about?
We're talking about outsourcing IT, something that we both know about, and why.
Yeah, why
do that?
Why would you want to do that, right?
Why would you want to do that?
As a business owner, why would you want to outsource your IT? Valid question.
It is a valid question.
Okay.
First of all, is the labor costs. Hiring good talent is expensive. Not to mention, depending on the size of your company, you're either going to have to invest a lot in your team for training, insurance benefits, all that good stuff. A good IT person is going to cost a lot of money, not only because of their skills, but also because they are going to need to go through in training. They have benefits. They have all of this other stuff that goes along with that. So outsourcing that reduces that down to a much smaller amount and allows you to scale up and down.
To your point, the whole notion of outsourcing is that I can pay for what it costs me to hire one person and give them a salary, give them benefits, give them vacation, paid sick time, training, blah, 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 all the crap that goes into, and all you HR people are going to know about that, right? For the cost of that,
That's another subject.
That's another subject, right? All for one person, typically for even less than that, you can hire an entire team of people.
Right.
And scale. If your company grows, if they're a good company, they'll be able to scale with you, and you won't notice any loss in service.
Absolutely.
But then you won't have the burden.
When there's upticks and you're growing like gangbusters, you're hiring like mad, that IT support that's outsourced is growing with you. They support you as you grow.
As it should be.
And the opposite is also true. If, there's a recession and you need to downscale, well, guess what? You don't need to lay off a bunch of people. You just reduce that cost. So there's the whole range of flexibility and growth. The skills are like a huge thing. When you outsource, you typically outsource to a company that has wide range of skills, whether that's
networking. It has to be a wide range of skills. Absolutely.
Yeah, networking, security, even training, or just having a good bedside manner that you can talk to people and figure out what the problem is without being condescending.
You need to have people who can smile and make eye contact, right? And as funny as that is, it's actually it was an issue when you and I were coming up in the early days of this business. In the 90s and the early 2000s, it was an issue. It's still an issue.
It is,
which fascinates me. To me, it's just like, really, we still to this day need to be telling people, you need to actually dress well, make eye contact, and smile. Hey, there's a thought. So these are the things that if you bring on a team of people and it's not a good fit, you part ways.
Right.
Whereas with somebody you've hired full time, I'll let you HR people chime in.
Yes, so let's move on to the next part of that. If you hire your own people, that you have to deal with HR. You also have to deal with sick coverage, vacation days, training time, and the costs and the time off associated with that. And then assuming that they're fully trained and they can support you, very, very well, then what about retention? Because now they're up to speed. They have all the skills they need. And
how do you keep them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, how do you keep them? And that's a big question. And to your point just a moment earlier about, sick time off and vacation time off, if you have one IT person for the whole company and they go on a 2-week vacation, you're dead in the water for 2 weeks if you need help.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
So,
right. So then you need to hire another person, a junior person, to take over. Right. So the costs just keep piling up. Right?
So, when you're talking about a small company, you're talking about essentially fractional engineers, because this outsourcing your IT is not going to cost you a full employee's worth. It'll cost you a fraction, and you have a whole team behind them. If their engineers go on vacation, doesn't matter, because there's a bunch of other people that are going to
somebody else who can step in and take care of you. Yeah. So these are actually critical things to think about. This is also why I'm finding it. You're probably finding this too. Is many of my customers are also looking at fractional marketing people, fractional compliance officers, fractional operations officers. They don't need them all the time, but when they need them, they really need them.
Absolutely.
right?
Fractional CIO, CTOs are essential. We hear about fractional CFOs all the time,
Yes,
but the other fractionals are also just as important because if you don't really know what's ahead in terms of technology,
right.
planning a 1, 3, 5 year technology roadmap, then really you're almost setting yourself up to have problems down the road.
Well, you will stub your toe. There's no way. If you don't do the planning, then you're going to get in trouble. The question is, who do you hire somebody full time to come in? It's the same notion, right? So it's something that as a business owner or owners, you need to think really long and hard about. If you're going to bring somebody on to do your IT, then what happens? What's plan B?
Right.
And you
Right.
and I both had customers where the IT person either disappeared for one reason or another. I've had IT people pass away. It
Right.
just is
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
is. This happens. The world is dynamic. The world is not static. So
Absolutely.
so the key is when you're going to hire somebody full time, what's plan B?
Indeed.
That's
Those were the main points I wanted to go over. It's
yeah.
not just about cost, and that will save you significant amounts of money,
Oh,
but
totally. Yeah.
it's the flexibility, it's the scalability, it's the lack of
It's the
needing
security,
HR, the security, you
right?
name it. There are so many different benefits, and
You know at some level that your organization is being taken care of at
yes,
all times, right?
this is also one thing I really want to kind of emphasize here. Your IT, regardless of whether it's in-house or outsourced, you really need to have them involved in the conversation about running the business. It's
Yes.
not
Yes.
just an afterthought. It can be critical to the growth
No,
and the
let me
efficiency of the company.
let me correct you. No, it's not can be critical. It is critical,
Right.
right? You can't. This is the 21st century. You cannot run a business these days of any relative size without technology being involved. So your IT people need to be involved in your strategic discussions. Otherwise, all they're doing is firefighting and changing passwords, which reduces
Yeah.
their overall value to the organization.
Yes.
Plain and
100%.
simple. This is true of outsourced IT too. You need to involve your outsourced IT people in your long-term discussions.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not doing quarterly business reviews, if you're not looking at your technology roadmap, then something needs to change. You
Something needs to
need
change.
to
Yes.
take that by the horns, either ask your IT company, why are we not doing this? And I would like to do this. I would like to plan ahead. I would like to get reviews on a regular basis. And if they can't do that or they're not willing to do that, then find somebody who can.
Exactly. Yes. That's absolutely critical. It's the long term. I think this is the problem. Is that most people start businesses as tacticians. They're there
Yeah.
to do a thing, whatever the business is. If you're selling a widget, if you're selling a service, they're there to do a thing every day. But I found that very often when I ask decision makers in companies, okay, so tell me about your next 5 years. What are your plans and aspirations? They look at me funny.
Mm.
And I'm like, no, seriously, humor me because I can't really help you determine how to use technology wisely over the next 5 years unless you tell me what you're trying to accomplish, right? It's absolutely critical. You need
Yeah.
to involve your people but this is like I said, most people start companies as tacticians, they're day-to-day firefighters. The mental shift required to become a strategist is a huge one, and many businesses don't make that shift,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is unfortunate because I think there's a lot of great businesses that could really benefit from that sort of thinking.
Well, absolutely. I mean, most people who are starting a business are really good at one thing, and that's why they start their
That's
business.
why they started
Because,
the business. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
but not everyone is good at running a business and scaling and growing and
And
various
being
other things that happen.
Yep, and being a visionary. That's just
Yeah.
that's hard. It's really hard because it's sort of ephemeral. It's not tactile, right? Me making sure that package goes out in FedEx is tactile. I can do that. I can put an air bill on it, make sure it gets picked up by the FedEx guy. I can say, we did that, check mark. But you know, what does this company look like in 5 years is not very tactile. It's very ephemeral, and it's hard for somebody to solidify that vision in their brain and then communicate it with their team. So this is why if you want that freedom of movement, you need to find a way to bring people into your organization who can free you up so you can be visionary about your business and scale. And whoever you bring in should help you do that. If they can't do that, you need to part ways and find someone else.
Amen.
Sorry, I was preaching to the choir there. I can get on my soapbox about that.
Yes, you can, but so can I.
So anyway, I think that's. Is there any more for this one? Or I think we're there, right?
I think we're there. The only other analogy that I would use is really a doctor. So if you look, or even a Swiss Army knife, an MSP is generally going to be a Swiss Army knife. In-house IT is going to be a knife.
A knife, yeah. It's the paring knife.
So they're great at what they do, but they don't have all the other tools and everything else that go along with that. So
yeah, agreed.
I would encourage you to take a good, hard, long look at outsourcing IT if you're not doing that already.
Yeah, agreed. That's it. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for keeping up with us. Please like and subscribe our videos. It helps the algorithm push us out to a lot more people. And ding the ding dong as there's a British there's a British show. There's a British audio show that says that every day, and ding the ding dong every time. Right? So ring the bell so that you know when we post another video.
I'm not asking what videos you're watching.
It's okay. It's okay. And I'm Ramin. I run a managed service MSP. By the way, you said earlier is a managed services provider, which is an outsourced IT company. We are in the San Francisco Bay Area, just like Dan's company is, and we are Rhino Network Solutions. The URL is at the bottom of the screen. And then Dan, you are.
I am Dan Hind. The company I work for is called BACS Consulting. We provide enterprise-level technology support, and that includes things like cybersecurity, as well as traditional MSP business. But we also provide enterprise consulting, digital transformation, ERP implementations, CRM implementations, really looking at a deep dive into companies' growth, where they are, how they can optimize, maybe they can automate, maybe they can become more efficient. If they're looking to exit, 1, 3, 5 year plans for technology roadmaps and making sure that they can scale or exit with a nice chunk of money.
Okay.
And a kitchen sink.
And the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Would you like mayonnaise with that? So anyway, thanks guys. Please like and subscribe as we said before. Thank you for joining us. We're going to continue to put videos like this out. Please comment below and let us know if this is making sense to you, if we're talking garbage, or if there's other stuff you want us to talk about. Please involve us in your thoughts, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Talk to you soon. Bye.